Hi, everyone. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes as we get our weekend underway. And it's going to be a chilly one, especially for tonight. And of course, we had some rather decent rains overnight and into the morning hours. You can see on the U.S. satellite loop that much of the brighter white cloud tops now are up in New England and moving northward. So our weather front has moved on through. The wave we were waiting for to develop on it has also moved up to the north, and the frontal boundary is way out to our east. So chilly air is moving in, and that's going to set us up for some frosty conditions tonight, with the exception of some coastal areas and some of the warmer urban centers, which will stay probably above 40. Everybody else will be down in the 30s by morning. And there will be some frost. We have frost advisories up in a number of areas already. Bear in mind that we had an early frost this year back in September. Many areas in upstate New York, northeastern Pennsylvania, on up into New England have already seen their first frosts weeks ago. So a few places now starting to play catch up. And this is what we're looking for as far as morning lows on Sunday. We're going to wake up to temperatures in the low 40s. Some of the areas in the Pine Barrens on Long Island and in New Jersey will be down close to the freezing mark. And you see a lot of the inland areas, mostly low and mid 30s. The warmer urban centers running upper 30s and low 40s, like Philadelphia 43, Baltimore 42, Washington 41, New York City. That 49 that's printed there is for LaGuardia, so that thermometer doesn't exactly reflect the rest of the area in terms of temperatures. It'll be closer to 44, 45, and again, cooler as you go east and on up into New England, seeing lower 30s. Here's the extent of the frost advisories that we have up for tomorrow morning, and they cover a large portion of New England, all of Connecticut, the lower Hudson Valley, most of northern New Jersey, back over into parts of eastern Pennsylvania, and the coastal counties of New Jersey. Now, just because you don't see them up to the north, that's because those areas have already seen their first frost. And then on Sunday, we're going to see temperatures bounce. Our high temperatures today are not going to get much out of the 50s at all. In fact, only the warmest areas will probably see temperatures get to 60 or 61 in southern New Jersey and maybe around Maryland and northeast Virginia. But everybody else pretty much in the mid to upper 50s will have decreasing clouds, increasing sun, and then skies will clear out tonight. You saw those lows for tomorrow morning, for Sunday morning. And then temperatures will start to bounce a little higher tomorrow. We should make it up into the lower 60s just about everywhere. The coolest spots up to the north might struggle a little bit, but temperatures are going to come up. And then next week, it looks to me like every day next week is just going to be basically in the mid to upper 60s for highs. Nighttime lows will be in the 40s to low 50s, except for some of the cold spots. It's going to be a quiet week ahead. Checking out the radar, the heavy rain in New England, welcomed certainly because of the extreme drought that continues there. Well, that is lifting on up to the northeast, and the radars are quiet back through New York State, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. If looking up and down the East Coast, things are quiet. Seeing some precipitation moving across the Great Lakes, the western Great Lakes, and the northernmost plains, and back over into northern Rockies, and some of that is in the form of snow, and there's going to be probably an inch or two of snow in some areas up in the northern parts of the Dakotas and northern Minnesota, and of course higher amounts in the northern Rockies, where some places are going to wind up with a half a foot or more. 'Tis the season, folks. So the Weather Prediction Center, as far as rainfall is concerned for the next 7 days, guess what? Much of southern New England down to northeast Virginia, the area that I cover, we're talking about maybe not seeing any rain at all for the next 7 days, and that'll carry us right into next, this is effective right into next Saturday morning. So we got 7 days ahead of no rain. You see precipitation being indicated up in the Great Lakes and up into northern New England and far upstate New York. but everybody else really on the dry side, all the way down into the Carolinas. You see the tropical moisture that is from a system that's going to be coming out of the Northwest Caribbean over time. But in the meantime, we're good here, folks. There's not really too much happening. The flow is favoring weather fronts to come into the eastern part of the United States, but because we have this upper high that's building off the Atlantic seaboard, these fronts weaken considerably. This is what it looks like, for example, on Monday. It looks like you have all these showers approaching, and guess what? By the time we get to Monday afternoon, they're all gone. They stay mainly west and north. We have another one that's a system that's approaching on Tuesday, another weak front that falls apart. Wednesday, another one that falls apart, and we may actually have to wait until late Friday before a front actually holds together enough to make it through here. But even then, doesn't really show much in the way of showers. So I'm thinking Monday through Friday will probably each day will be a question of how much cloud cover we have and how much sunshine we have. Some days we'll have more of one and less of the other. Temperatures will be mostly in the 60s. There'll be a few days where we'll approach 70, and we'll just have a pretty decent week. In the meantime, you see on the lower right, there's what looks like a tropical storm, and that's going to eventually turn northward. We're more concerned with something coming out of the Northwest Caribbean, and the weather models seem to be jumping all over the place with this. And as I often say, in regards to looking at something that's 7 to 10 days away, it's kind of a waste of energy to just put all your efforts into what models are telling you now, since we still have a lot of things to resolve as far as the upper flow is concerned. So we'll do that when we get into next week. In the meantime, have a great weekend, and we will see you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock Eastern Time on the Joe and Joe Weather Show.